guys, welcome back to Rocket Kyan, my fellow space tubers. So, after the Starship attempt, SpaceX is back again to its launch business, and today we will be witnessing the SXM-7 mission of the SpaceX for the Sirius radio company. I mean the Sirius, not as in Sirius, it's Sirius, Sirius. Okay, so yeah. So talking about SpaceX, oh man, see this thing. This was the most epic thing which I have ever witnessed in 2020. I can surely say that. And this video, which you are seeing right now, just takes my heart away every time. I can watch this thing every day, every night. So yeah, we'll talk about it when the SN9 takes off. But the SN9 right now is in a bit trouble. Seeing the state of the SN8, he was like, nah, I won't go. Okay, so talking about SpaceX is a rocket company headed by Elon Musk, and see this here. This is why the SpaceX was established, to change how the space industry works. Okay, by its reusability and everything. So now we can have a look at the Falcon 9 rocket itself. So here we have the Falcon 9 rocket, and it has total 100 launches. This is the 101st successful launch. If it happens today, in total there are 102 launches, out of which one was not successful, and it was like a commercial resupply mission to ISS. Yeah. So talking about Falcon 9, it's a two-stage rocket, and the payload capacity is 22.8 tons in fully expandable configuration. First stage, here we have the first stage, and this first stage houses 9 Merlin one-day engines. These are the most advanced engines that SpaceX has after the Raptor engine, obviously. Raptor engines is the king of rocket engines. So this is the RP1 engines. It produces 7,607 kilonewtons of thrust, and then what else was there? Yeah. So the thrust, that's what the first stage is. It burns on RP1 and locks as its fuel. Okay, and gas generator power cycle. Okay, I'll tell you about that in a bit. This is the landing legs for landing on the drone ship. Then the second stage runs on MVAC, which is a vacuum optimized Merlin engine, and this one is a bit different. I mean, in you can say the nozzle is a bigger one for the second stage, obviously, because it has to travel in vacuum. But there are some other changes also, like the pre-burner exhaust, which comes out of the rocket. It is directly fed into the combustion chamber to keep it cool, because that gas is a bit cooler. So yeah, that's the thing. The interstage houses the second stage and the grid fins, because the those grid fins helps in the maneuvering. And then the fairing, which is being launched today. Fairing is being launched today, obviously, with the payload in it, and the payload is the SXM-7 satellite. Talking about the Merlin engine, this is runs on RP1 and locks as its fuel. And it has been rated for around 10 flights. This runs on gas generator power cycle and RP1 and locks as its fuel. Yeah. Uh, this Merlin engine is used in Falcon 9, Falcon 1, as well as in Falcon Heavy launch vehicle. This is the bigger one, vacuum optimized Merlin engine, which with a, you can say, a fairly large nozzle. Okay, done with this thing. So hi everyone, hi Angel, hi Chidanand, hi Iron the Space Explorer, hi Lab Padre, hi Veena, and hi Jack, hi Preet. You should start a series of videos explaining all type of engines and how it works, etc., etc. Yes, you are right, Preet. I mean, there are so many launches right now happening in the space industry, like, and that I don't get any time of making those videos. I am working on one video which will come out soon, so watch out for that. And if you want to know about the engines, well, the today's launch, that the Delta 4 Heavy, yeah, the Delta 4 Heavy which lift off today, I have made a video about the Delta 4 Heavy ignition sequence. That is a pretty good thing. So you can always have a look at it. Then we can have a look at the payload and the mission profile. So hi Harshal, when is the launch? The countdown timer is there. Shashank Desai says SN9 broke its leg and it is leaning on its housing from inside. Well, it actually didn't broke its leg. We don't know for sure right now. It's just a speculation. But it has been like speculated that the stand on which the SN9 was standing that collapsed, and then now it is leaning on the high bay. And if high bay was not there, man, that starship, the SN9 starship, would have just fallen onto the area and collapsed everything which has come into its contact. Uh, so the mission profile for this mission is a bit different one from we witness, because this is a geotransfer orbit. Means the orbit which this thing is going to is a geotransfer orbit. And a geotransfer orbit, geostationary transfer orbit, what it is? Well, that means it's a transfer orbit from medium Earth or low Earth orbit to a geostationary orbit. Geostationary orbit has a higher altitude than those medium Earth and low Earth orbit, so you can say that. And this is the mission profile here. The launch, the ascent, the MECO, and the stage separation is as usual. The flip maneuver is also as usual, but we have one excess thing here, that is the boost back burn. And this boost back burn is used for this launch. I think it is because they have to save the fuel for this geo transfer orbit burn, and that's why this the first stage itself burned for a little longer to push the spacecraft a bit ahead, and that's why it performed a boost back burn so as to make the and correct the trajectory basically to hit the drone ship. Otherwise, it would have fallen ahead of the drone ship. Okay. So I think that's the reason for today's why the boost back burn is being performed. And then as usual, we have the entry burns to slow the vehicle down for the atmospheric re-entry. Atmospheric guidance is there for with the interstage grid fins, and then the vertical landing on. Just read the instruction, drone ship. This is the thing. Then the countdown timeline, if we say right now we are in this thing. First stage locks loading is underway, and t minus 16 minutes the second stage locks loading will be there, and this mission will last for about 31 minutes. Okay. And we have this thing two second stage burns for this mission, Seco 1 and the Seco 2. Seco 1 should be like for putting it into parking orbit, and then the not the sorry, the second engine start one should be for SES1, should be for putting it into a parking orbit, and SES2 should be for raising the apogee to a geo transfer orbit. Okay, that's the thing. And now if we have the mission profile, so I'll yeah, mission profile is done. Now the launch is there. So what about what is going on in the chat? Too much time left, lol. I was waking from 10 to 11 p.m. for launch. Higher in the Space Explorer. You can wait for 19 more minutes. You will like at least you can witness the landing of the first stage. Mighty Miles says I served so I can come back later. Thank you so much, Mighty Miles. Really appreciate that, and you won't regret the decision, and I can assure you that. So, do we have anything, any update? Let me just tell you and have a look at it. Are they aiming for the same window right now? T minus 20 minutes and counting. Yeah. Yes, they are aiming for the window right now. And otherwise, this Falcon 9 launch actually was initially uh, postponed because of the. Wait a sec, just because of the issue with the upper winds. Yes, the issue with the upper winds was there, and that caused the thing to be launched some other time, and that time is now. Okay, so you enjoy this thing, and let me have a look at this thing. So we haven't had the stream yet, but yes, I can pull over that thing for you. Just a sec. What happened to the SN9 and what are we expecting now? So we can have those images right away pulled up for you. Just a sec. I'm having this thing here. Just a sec, guys. I'm getting those images for you. Uh, until then, if you have any questions, you can surely ask me and I'll try to answer your questions as long as I can, the information as I have. Okay, so this is the right now you are seeing here, guys, the SN9 here with its you can not see the tip here, the flip or should I say the bent here. Yeah, you are not able to see here. Proper image should be like, do we have a proper image? We can see it here. And yes, the from the image here we can see that the one of the fins of this SN9 is looking a bit damaged here because it has hit the high bay wall, and we can see here there is some damage here and here also. So yes, that's what it is. Here we have the complete image. As you can see here, the SN9 has is being right. It's looking like SN seeing the fate of the SN8. SN9 was like, no, no, don't take me out. But the SN9 should be should have trust on Elon Musk that he will not have the fate as what SN8 suffered. Okay, we have that stream now. I'll switch over to that. Just a sec. Okay, I'll switch over whenever it comes. So, okay. I do have one video also to show you, and it's like nothing is problematic here. Everything is looking good. I mean, the crane is underway, as you can see here, and I also had a video for when it tipped, at the time it tipped. Yeah, this thing here. Everyday astronaut says that there was a loud bang on when it tipped, and it was heard all over the place. So you can see this thing from looking at the pictures. It was speculated that there was some damage on the stand of this SN9. Okay, yeah. Okay, shout out to both of them, as Everyday Astronaut and Austin Burnett, for those awesome shots. And this is the SN8 wreckage. But I should not say a wreckage, but you can say SN8 beautiful crater. And Elon Musk, let me just tell you guys, Elon Musk has agreed that he will preserve this SN8 nose cone as a monument in its SpaceX headquarters, as a feat and as a milestone that they have achieved. He has agreed, and Espadres was the one who asked for that. Okay, here we go.
Liftoff.
Falcon 9 has cleared the tower.
Ten, 9, 8,
Side booster ignition.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
This intro is so cool, and it will surely have the Starship also
Good
included one day.
afternoon. It's Friday, December 11th, and on your screen is a live view of the Falcon 9 awaiting its 12:55 p.m. Eastern Time launch from Cape Canaveral Space Force Station in Florida. My name is Kate Tice, and I'm a senior certification engineer here at SpaceX headquarters in Hawthorne, California. Welcome to our webcast coverage for the launch of Sirius XM's SXM-7 Satellite. You may know Sirius XM for its ad-free curated music channels or for its use of satellites to provide users with digital audio radio services. Today, to replace existing satellite services, SpaceX will launch the company's next generation high-power broadcasting satellite, SXM-7. Following today's launch, the SXM-7 payload will join 5 other satellites in Sirius XM's active satellite fleet. After joining the fleet, there's an expectation that the payload will replace the XM-3 satellite to help ensure continuous and reliable delivery of Sirius XM's audio, entertainment, and data services to consumers in the United States. This effort will also help Sirius XM expand services to consumers in Canada and the Caribbean. Today's launch marks the 25th SpaceX mission this year and the 7th flight for this particular booster, which is pretty exciting. So with that, let's take a closer look at that vehicle for today's mission. So there on your screen, you have a look at our launch pad located in Cape Canaveral, and you see a healthy Falcon 9 cycling through its launch day processes in preparation for its 12:55 p.m. Eastern liftoff. Falcon 9, our 2-stage liquid-fueled launch vehicle, sits on Space Launch Complex 40. It stands about 229 feet or 70 meters tall, which is a little bigger than the wingspan of a 747 airplane. The bottom 2/3 of the vehicle is what we call the first stage. As I mentioned earlier, it will be taking flight for the 7th time today. The first stage is responsible for accelerating the vehicle all the way through to the edge of space, where it will drop off the second stage along with the payload. Once the drop-off is complete, we'll attempt to recover that first stage on our drone ship. Just read the instructions, which you see there on your screen, which is currently positioned out in the Atlantic Ocean. If we stick the landing today, it will mark our 69th successful booster recovery. About 2.5 minutes into flight, the first and second stage will separate, and the second stage will ignite its single Merlin vacuum or MVAC engine to carry the SXM-7 satellite to a highly elliptical orbit. Separation from second stage will occur about 4,000 kilometers above Earth, and then the satellite will perform burns to raise its position to enter a circular medium Earth orbit, or MEO, and reach an apogee of about 20,200 kilometers above Earth.
Wow.
At the top of your screen there, you can see a nose cone-shaped object that sits atop the vehicle. That's the payload fairing, and housed inside there is the SXM-7 satellite. The fairing measures 17 feet, or about 5 meters in diameter, and about 43 feet, or 13 meters tall. The payload fairing protects the satellite from aerodynamic heating, loads, and contamination during ascent. Once we get into the vacuum of space, the payload will no longer need that protection, so we'll jettison the fairing halves to save some weight as the second stage continues on with the satellite to its targeted drop-off orbit. The fairing halves that you see there, we used them on a previous mission. This is the second time that they are being flown.
Wow.
Both halves previously supported the K-Milsat-1 mission back in July earlier this year. Due to upgrades on our recovery vessel, Ms. Chief, we'll retrieve one of the fairing halves with our recovery vessel, Ghost Searcher, and then attempt to catch the other half using our recovery vessel, Ms. Tree. The large truss structure that you see on the pad next to Falcon 9 is called the Transporter Erector, or TE. The TE is used to roll out Falcon 9 from the hangar to the launch pad and then raise Falcon 9 to its vertical launch position. The TE also routes power, fluids, and communication to both the rocket and satellite. So now that we've gone over some of the hardware that's essential to executing this launch, let's take a closer look at today's payload. Weighing in at almost 7,000 kilograms and over 100 feet long when its solar arrays are completely deployed, the 27-foot-tall SXM-7, built on Maxar's 1300 class platform, is designed to provide service for more than 15 years. This satellite's unique design also features a large unfurlable S-band reflector to broadcast audio and data signals to users on the ground. By joining Sirius XM's already active fleet, the SXM-7 will deliver the highest power density of any commercial satellite on orbit. This new satellite will send more than 8,000 watts of content to the continental United States, Canada, Puerto Rico, and the Caribbean, which in turn provides users with better signal quality and broader reach. Now, as the clock continues to count down, we're approaching T-minus 7 minutes and 45 seconds. We're looking forward to an on-time liftoff. Let's take a moment now to learn a little bit more about SXM-7.
Everyone messes the name, right? It's like that only. Okay, I can't play this thing for sure. I'll get a copyright. Okay, so this is the payload which you are right now seeing, and it's a pretty cool thing because the not looking like normal satellite which had just see this thing. That's why I was saying it's not a normal satellite. Radial rib antenna that is so pretty large, and so those solar arrays also. I mean, wow. This satellite itself is very unique. Obviously, it's a radio company satellite, and it will provide a more accurate and more comfortable signals to the user. Okay, so guys, Iron the Space Explorers say about ISRO's ISS is they will be made. ISS, or you can say the space station for India, will be made and developed by 2030. The thing which is right now going on is the Gaganyaan mission, and it is expected to shift. I mean, in 2021, in December 2021, the Gaganyaan mission first uncrewed flight will take place, and then subsequent flights will take place. And I hope and I speculate that the main Gaganyaan mission with the crew on board will take place in 2023. So after that is success, the space station work will be done.
The same propellants. Our fuel is a refined form of kerosene known as Rocket Propellant 1, or RP1, and our oxidizer is super chilled liquid oxygen, LOX. We chill the liquid oxygen to be as cold as we can get it, which allows us to load more LOX and makes it super dense with oxygen molecules. Both of these things give us better performance with those Merlin engines. This also helps us to avoid the need to continue topping off prior to launch in order to make up for losses due to boiling. Now at this point, second stage is fully loaded with RP1, and the first stage looks like it is complete as well. Also, at this point in time, liquid oxygen is being loaded onto both the first and second stages. We're also loading helium into the storage vessels on the first and second stages. During flight, we pass this cold helium through heat exchangers on the Merlin engines. The heat of the gas generator exhaust turns that cold helium into hot helium, therefore expanding it. That expanded helium gas is then used to fill the empty volume in the tanks created by the engine pumps that pull the propellant out of the stage. Very shortly, we'll open the pre-valves between the first stage engines and the propellant tanks. We started to do engine chilling. You might have heard that.
And this is how the pressurization of the fuel tank is done, and thus you can say the loss of the SN8 was due to the pressurization of the header tank, the low pressure in the header tank. So that's why it's very important to pressurize the fuel tanks properly. And for SN means the Starship won't be using helium for pressurization, it will be using its own fuel for pressurization. But in this Falcon 9, helium is used.
Away from the rocket. So we're currently at just under T-4 minutes. Everything appears to be on track for our on-time launch. The range is green, and as for weather, we've been keeping an eye on those upper altitude winds today, but right now, everything is looking favorable. If for some reason we have to call a hold on today's launch, we have a backup opportunity tomorrow with a liftoff time scheduled for about the same time.
Exactly.
But as for now, all systems continue to be go for a liftoff at 12:55 p.m. Eastern.
Man, this is happening so fastly and so epically now, and now we are T minus 3 minutes and 30 seconds until liftoff. 15 seconds until liftoff, okay. And yeah, everything is looking good, and hopefully we get
So
to
first
see
stage fuel
this
loading
thing
completed
fly.
on time, around T minus 6 minutes. And we're currently waiting for that first stage LOX load to complete. You should be hearing the call out for that any moment. And second stage liquid oxygen loading will complete around T minus 2 minutes. Just a minute before liftoff, you'll hear the announcement that Falcon 9 is in startup. This announcement means that the rocket's own internal computers are now controlling the launch countdown on Falcon 9. Once the engines are confirmed to be at full power, the flight computer on the second stage will then command the ground hold downs to release the rocket right at T0. Our satellite team continues to monitor the health and status of that SXM-7 satellite located there in the fairing that you see on your screen. Currently, all systems are go on the satellite.
This thing is looking so fabulous right now, and let's hope this thing flies today and we see a spectacular launch of
The
the
range
Falcon
continues
9.
to be green for launch,
Range
and
is
weather
green.
continues to look good.
Weather is looking good, and we don't have the upper level winds for today. I mean, for at least for this thing right now, because the time was postponed for some time. But yeah, it is looking cloudy a bit, but that's okay for this thing to go past them. Fingers crossed. And right now we are T minus 1 minute and 25 seconds from the launch, and now it is, you can see the vehicle is smoking a lot, you can say that, because it is clearing up all the vent lines which was feeding the liquid oxygen to the rocket, clearing up all the pipes and all. That's why the venting is so huge at this time. And now the vehicle should be in startup. That simply means that vehicle's internal power flight computers have taken over. So fingers crossed, and enjoy this launch. T minus 30 seconds.
Hold on the primary countdown. Set. Launch board's running.
I mean, we have a hold, and we don't have any reason right now.
As you just heard, we did hear a hold called out today. The clock is stopped at T minus 30 seconds. We're going to check in with the teams. Give us a moment, and we'll see what we can get you.
As we were thinking that this thing will launch, I mean, at T minus 30 seconds, there could be only two reasons. At this time only, the range also, or the final weather briefing, you can say, is done. Oh, and then now the recycling. I mean, now I think it is looking like a scrub today. If it is because of the weather, then they will proceed. But if it is because of any problem in the Falcon 9, then it is scrub. Whenever this happens, then the switch over to another countdown. Mostly that's a scrub, but look, fingers crossed. It's not today. Vehicle is fully fueled right now. That is for sure. And we are just waiting for the confirmation. And do I have any other update for you? Let me just see and tell you guys. Just a sec. Harshal, we are right now at a T minus 15 minutes and hold. We don't know when it will be launched right now because there was some problem during the countdown, and we are just waiting for the official team to tell us what was the problem. If you have just joined in, guys, we have a hold right now at T minus 30 seconds. We had a hold call out, and we are right now just waiting for the officials to tell us what was the reason and whether will they be recycling it or whether is it's a scrub for today. I'm closely monitoring the official handles also. So if anything comes up, I'll tell you guys.
As you just heard on the countdown net, we had a hold called at T minus 30 seconds. Prior to that, the countdown was proceeding nominally, keeping in mind that the purpose of the countdown is to help us catch any potential issues prior to flight. There are 1,000 ways a launch can go wrong and only one way that it can go right. Given that we are overly cautious on the ground, and if the team or the vehicle sees anything that looks even just slightly off, they'll stop the countdown. Overall, the vehicle appears to be in good health, but that will be ending our launch attempt for today. Keep an eye out on our social media accounts for the announcement of our next launch opportunity. Until then, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
Okay, guys, that confirms it that there was some problem with the Falcon 9 vehicle itself and not the weather. That's what they said. And can you just join in? And it was like a T minus 30 second. There was a scrub, and we were just waiting for you to come. And now we have this scrub. Okay, so this thing, it's okay. That's what she mentioned. It's 1,000 ways that things can go wrong, on but only one way that things can go right. And we've just witnessed that only. Like at T minus 30 seconds, there was a hold countdown, not call out, sorry. And that simply means right now though we don't know what is happening. But okay, let me see if I have anything for you to tell you guys. Nothing official yet. Yes, it's a scrub, and so we try again tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow could be the day. Only thing is the range availability as well as the launch window should be at that time. Although it's going to a geostationary orbit, I mean, the launch window does play a pretty good role, as well as the range availability always has its thing. So don't worry, guys. It's okay. We have scrub for today, but that means we can get another opportunity to witness this thing to fly. We came here to witness it, but it was a scrub. But it's okay. It's always okay. And now we can see if we have anything to tell you. Uh, Nothing official as per this. Nothing official right now, as in what happened. Okay, that's it for today, guys. I think I need to end the stream now, and yeah, that's it for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Do check out for tomorrow or day after tomorrow, whenever it's a launch. I will be there, so don't worry about it. Leave that tension to me, and you will get the notification hopefully. So yeah. Until then, this is Pianshu Roila. You just saw Rocket Gyan. Stay safe, stay healthy, and bye bye.